Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whatever time it is. I hope you are having a good one. Welcome back to House Flipper 2 with Rash Decision. If you enjoy this type of content, please leave me a like, subscribe, and maybe even a comment to let me know. Enjoy the video. Hello, my beautiful audience, and welcome to a new mod review Monday. Now, today is not actually going to be a review. Today is the promised showcase of the first mod I've created. I've actually got two more that are in development, but this is actually the one that I've uploaded first. So this is the country cabin, and I do apologize about the screenshot. I may adjust that later. I'll just get through this and go ahead and do that because I literally clicked the button only mere moments before I hit record. So this is now available. If you want to go look at it for yourself, I'm going to give you a quick little walkthrough, a quick little showcase to show you what it's about, what we've got going on. And so here we go. This is the country cabin. This was built in the style of around 1920 to 1960 U.S. Southeastern state country cabin style, very heavy craftsman inspiration, I guess I should say. There's a lot of houses in wooded areas that are secluded like this one that are built just like this, absolutely just like this type of building. Of course, as we go around, we have our nice little garden out here to the left, and of course it swoops down into a patio over to the right. That kind of comes up and meets the back side of the house. I decided that the owners of this house currently enjoy gardening. So that's what I built a large portion of this patio to be, is for the gardening portion, for repotting plants, for the various uses of gardening, to even the creeper vine, especially Virginia creeper. The area that I intended for this to come from has a lot of Virginia creeper in it. In fact, I don't want to give away too much, as I've said before, of where I live necessarily, but I will tell you that I do live close to the state of Virginia, and there's a lot of this everywhere, all over my real world yard, all over everything, absolutely. Besides that, things like kudzu and of course other creeper varieties as well. But I wanted to keep to that same styling. So of course I have the Virginia creeper that's been cultivated here in order to specifically crawl up the side of the house. As I said, this is a craftsman style, so of course we have the peak windows. Peek peak windows. That's not an official name. It's really just kind of like an old craftsman's name for it. It really just means a window that kind of peeks out from under the eave of the house. So there's not really much to the exterior as far as special feature, other than this nice little round window I put kind of right above the front door. And when we get inside, you'll see why I did that. It really just has a lot to do with how I did the interior. Of course, nice little standard porch. Didn't really want to go too crazy with the porch because in this case, the porch is just there. Excuse me, I apologize. The porch is just here to kind of act like a easeway into the rest of the house, more than to act as a country porch. And the only reason I did that is this is a design. I don't remember where I got it from, but this was a floor plan design that I actually borrowed years and years and years ago. And I remember it was from one of the a modular house magazine. I thought it was really cool, so I tried building it like The Sims and a couple of other places, and ended up not really getting too far with it. And that's because of the way it's laid out on the interior. This is the first game I've ever been able to fully recreate that floor plan, and I apologize if you are the original creator of this floor plan. I do not remember where I saw this from, and I am so sorry. I really wish I had the ability to give credit where credit is due, because this is a beautiful floor plan, but it does have my own spin on a few different things here and there, so it is not entirely coming directly from a plan. And I will say that I pulled this from memory from like more than 5 years ago. So we're talking about something that it might as well have been mine beyond just remembering how the rooms fit together. So let's go ahead and go in the front door here. As we come in the front door, to the left, we have our nice little living room space. Nothing really special, just your standard couch, TV. Have the nice little window over to the left. I wanted this window to be visible from the couch because of that just lovely little bit of greenery and how the sun kind of just dapples right across it. I really loved that view, so I wanted the couch to be able to see it. And then over here to the right, we have this wonderful elevated fireplace. Has the exposed chimney going all the way up, and of course the chimney has been clad in marble, and that's really just stylistic. I didn't really have to do that, I just did that because I wanted to. And of course had this big open space that I wanted to use as a centerpiece that didn't really need to be very what's the word, I wanted it to be eye grabbing but not take away from the marble. I wanted it to be accentful, not a true centerpiece. So I chose this clock that kind of has the just the pieces instead of a full face, and we're using the exposed chimney as the face. And of course, we have over here off to either side, we have these nice little brass rods that are kind of coming up out of these little cove sconces that I've built. Those are literally just the three pieces. I put bronze tiling on either side, and of course I actually did that here as well. This is kind of where I got the idea to do this. I did this at first to kind of give some style and give some reason as to why this little piece right here is here. Make it look like it's kind of attached by metal to that next piece down. And then I ended up liking it so much that I kind of repeated it in a few different places, and the more I did it, the more I liked it. It literally looks like a oak beam, like a stained oak beam that's been bound in place by brass, and I can't get enough of it. And of course, we have the full bookshelves. Got some sewing equipment over here, got some art supplies over here, have more books here and there. And of course, I don't remember if these. Oh, that's right, because I'm in. I'm still in edit mode. That's why it's on. Okay, I'm sorry. So and over here, underneath the stairs, it always bugs me how in every house the underneath the stairs is always fully wasted. So I endeavored, and it took me hours, and I want to really emphasize that it took me hours to get this just right, to get this the way that I wanted it to be. And now that I have it the way that I wanted it to be. This is excellent. I even have stuff in here like hidden away because I liked it so much. I wanted to fill it out completely. I didn't want it to go to waste in any way, shape, or form. Everything here was very meticulously chosen, not only because of its shape, whereas like the swan up here kind of takes up that perfect clove, just right there, fits in like a puzzle piece. But also because there were some spaces here where there were some objects that just didn't work in these spaces, and I had to be very choosing as to what went in the space. And of course, I wanted to make sure everything had like this nice earthy, grounded vibe to it. Make it feel like it's part of the stairs rather than part of the decor. That was my goal in that. And I'm going to tell you that when I went through and I was adding the cladding, this nice vertical plank onto everything here. I'm sure you can see there's like some texture issues here. All of this being put together all at the same time. I had to do a lot of finagling with it. Now, it was a lot more than I was expecting, especially with this giant vaulted ceiling. I was expecting I would be able to just come in, throw it down, get it done. No, it did not work that way at all, at absolute all. And of course, there ended up being some texture issues, and I'm really happy with how it came out. Actually, even with all the issues I had putting it together, I'm really happy with the fact that it came out very, very wonderfully. And of course, every room does have its own split unit, and I actually experimented a little bit with cove lighting. So down here you see there's this nice little board, or I guess not a board, a post that kind of runs right across that right there, and of course it has the light that shines up, and it makes a difference. It actually does. When I didn't have those there, it really did actually make a difference in how bright this area right here was. And I ended up having to add this in here as well, just because there ended up not being enough light coming down. But everything, all things considered, this room's lighting came out absolutely flawlessly. I couldn't have asked for better, especially with the fact that I have this nice big vaulted ceiling. I was so worried I wasn't going to be able to get all of it lit up properly, but this came out really, really well for what I was expecting. And then, of course, over to the right, where we go beyond these stairs, I wanted to do something more than just the flat, like misty green. And so I did the misty green with the white flowers on it as the wallpaper to kind of give some intrigue for that climb up the stairs, and then have that harsh juxtaposition where it comes down into the wood paneling that you see everywhere else. So let's go in here. This is actually the utility room. Have the have the fuse box here kind of recessed into the wall. This is actually how I would expect for something like this to be done, especially for a fuse box that juts out. It would be recessed into the wall, and a lot of American fuse boxes actually are recessed to be flush with the finished wall. So I thought it was very strange that the fuse box only gives you the option to jut out from the wall a little bit. So I wanted to recess it into it, and that's actually how I used up the space underneath the stairs a little bit better. And of course, this is colored different because that is an access to go underneath the stairs where the water heater is. So that actually is and I do apologize, I didn't actually put it in there because I wanted it to be. American water heaters are upright cylindrical affairs, so an American water heater would fit very nicely just right in here and have all the plumbing coming into it and out of it without any issue. But the one in the game, I couldn't get it to fit no matter what I did in behind, especially this thing because it is quite a bit deeper, so it goes a lot further in. So I think I had like these two 16-inch 16 inches of space, and of course that water heater that comes in the base game isn't large enough or isn't small enough to fit in that space, but a standard American water heater would actually fit in that space if you were really clever about how you went about it. So that's how I wanted to do it, was just kind of hide it behind a panel that you of course could take out if you choose to access it. And that is another thing that also very much bothers me about House Flipper 2. I would love to see like some extra hatches or utility vents, things of that nature, to be able to access things of that in that kind of category, so that you're not just having like a big bulky water heater just stuck out there on the wall. This is the utility room. I had to measure, remeasure, measure again, and then move the wall. I'm not proud of how long it took me to actually build this room to specification, but now that I have it the way that it should be, the correct method, this actually came out to be one of the best laundry rooms I've ever designed in House Flipper, whether it be 1 or 2. I absolutely love how this came out, and of course there actually is stuff in the counter or in the cabinets. Once again, I liked it so much. I wanted all of it to be used. I don't think I put anything in there. No, because I put the book bag in front of it, or not book bag, backpack, I guess, in front of it, and I didn't want to mess that up. I didn't want to have to move it to put stuff in there. So I did actually fill out the ones in the wall, but I did cheap out on the one on the floor. But that's okay. These are actually these are meant for bathroom, to be like a bathroom vanity and shelf, that kind of thing. But I use them for laundry room because that's one step away. I wouldn't even consider that to be a different room in a lot of houses. And of course, side by side washer and dryer, standard stuff, standard stuff. So before we go into that direction, I'm going to take the time to go upstairs because there's only 2 rooms up here. And of course, you saw that there was like the peak windows, and of course they ended up being slanted roof rooms. And of course, we have a bathroom here. I tried to make as best to use the space as possible. I knew that I had to have the light over the mirror, so I put the sink all the way to the left. The cabinet was going to be a little bit shorter, so it kind of went in the middle, and the toilet was going to be the shortest, so it kind of went over here to the far side of this slope. And of course, this bathtub, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to anyone who enjoys being able to get in and out of their bathtub at their leisure, because I was criticized by a very trusted gentleman who I genuinely believe knows a lot about style and design, that kind of thing. He criticized the hell out of me because of where I put this bathtub. But admittedly, I didn't really have anywhere else I wanted to put the bathtub, because I knew if I put the toilet there, you have to stand up out of a toilet when you're done using it, and you would have bonked your head on that every single time. Whereas the tub, you can kind of shimmy over here to the side and kind of get up from like right here. So I felt like the tub was a little bit less invasive for this slant, and I do apologize. I want to say in the original design, it's been so long since I saw it. It really, really has. It's been such a long time since I saw it. But I think this slant was a lot further up on this side, and there was a lot more room for this tub. Because I think they put the tub here in the original design as well. I do not remember very, very clearly. But it actually came together very, very well. The only thing I thought would have been funny is if you're trying to, like, use the toilet and there's somebody like sitting like right there, and they just look up and um yeah, probably want to tint that window. Anyway, let's move on. So we got the bedroom over here, at least the smaller of the two bedrooms. This bedroom I kind of imagined was for a younger member of the family, maybe teenager, maybe a little bit less. I'm not really sure. Young adult at very, very most is what I was thinking. So I went with my standard idea, and I apologize that I do this so often, but I did go with like a lot of games, a lot of collectibles, things of that nature. I did add a series of books. I did imagine this being like a geekier person. Uh, Mostly because when I was growing up, that's how I was. So that was, I had like my boxes of World of Warcraft lined up on my shelf over top of my desk. It was actually a desk in front of a window, like that. So for a while, I had a shelf when I had my desk in a different location. But then when I put the desk in front of the window, I had this like over here to the left of my desk. I had this big, like mostly glass and metal filing cabinet that my father had kind of abandoned. He didn't really want it anymore because it was too big and bulky to put in his office. So he gave it to me, and I started putting like collectibles and stuff in it. It became like one of the greatest display cases you've ever seen in your life. I really wish I still had it. I sold it when I moved out when I went to college, but I really wish I hadn't. I wish I had still had that cabinet. It was an amazing cabinet. So of course over here we have like your standard peripherals, paraphernalia, if I should say, or if I have the decency to say, I should say. And of course up here we got like a magazine, VR headset, got some game controller. I left it as just a laptop because I felt like anyone in a room this small probably really wouldn't want to do a full size PC, especially if this is only like a vacation cabin, or maybe if they're away to college most of the time, something along those lines. Um, so I just left it as a laptop rather than trying to do a full PC. Excuse me, here we go. I had to adjust my seat for just a moment there. Still have yet to fix this chair. I gave it a little bit of lubrication oil a while back, and didn't really help. So let's go ahead and go into the kitchen. And I apologize, I did just walk in there for just a moment because I lost track of what I was doing. I was applauded for this kitchen, and to me, this kitchen actually ended up being rather good, but I honestly believe that I could have done better. But I was so tired. I had rebuilt this kitchen like 4 times, and at that point, I was tired of doing it. I just wanted to move on to something else in this house. But I was still given a lot of applause for this particular kitchen, mostly because of the double ovens over here. As you can see, a large part of this kitchen is like this copper hue and black, and that's kind of what I wanted to stick to. So all of the wood is ash, all of the countertop is the black terrazzo. I use a lot of the stained oak, and that's the base for the cabinets as well as the copper binding right here. I think I did a little bit too much putting the copper binding in, but again, I built this kitchen like 4 times. I was ready to be done with it. And of course, I did stock the fridge. I did actually stock the fridge. I don't remember if no, I didn't do anything in the freezer, but I did at least stock the fridge. And of course, let me just go ahead and fly here. And of course, I did fully stock the pantry over here as well. That is completely stocked with everything that is available in the base game. And of course, I have a few things up top as well, just for like a little bit of extra decoration. And have the split unit for this room in here. But absolutely, the double oven and the 6 burner cooktop is kind of where I have a friend who loves to bake and loves to like make soups and stocks and what have you. Uh, she loved this kitchen. She told me previously, after I did the cabin in the woods changeover from the old barn, uh, after she saw this kitchen, she said, "You need to stop building my dream kitchens." And I said, "I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue building your dream kitchens because I enjoy it." And that is actually true. I love building just everything. So in here we have the downstairs bathroom. This one, of course, doesn't have the slant of the upstairs bathroom, so I was able to have a lot more freedom with how it was being built. And of course, this is actually perfectly sized for the door. Just kind of slide right in there, in past the cabinet there. And of course, we have the toilet. Over top of the toilet, we have a couple of hanging vines to give it a little bit of extra liveliness in here. This is the same color and greenery that was in the main room in there, and that's mostly because I just had I had it on my clipboard and I started pasting it. And I was like, wait a minute, didn't I use this color already? And it was whatever, because it actually ended up looking really, really awesome, especially with the marble in here. That was kind of an idea I had at random because I was building out this shower and I started with all this and I was like, no, it doesn't look right when it's all this like bleak grayish, gray beigeish color. And then I remembered I'd used the marble out there for the fireplace and thought to myself, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and put that into the shower, give it a nice little contrast with that gray beige. And it worked out great. I really love how this shower came out. I can't get enough of it. And of course, I did round it with the transition all the way around, all of its bronze, all of its absolutely wonderful. I said before that I overused bronze. When I said that, it was like right after I built that right after I built that bathroom. And then of course in here is the master bedroom. Here is my crowning achievement for this house. I wanted to experiment with some cove molding. I'm sorry, not cove molding, cove lighting, and it works great. I'm actually surprised at how well it works in this engine. Some of the light does bleed directly down. It's not really supposed to do that, but you know what? For all things considered, the fact that it kind of does seem like it bounces off of the ceiling in some way, shape, or form, even if it's an illusion. I'm really impressed with how this actually looks, and I'm probably going to be repeating this in some point in the future. And then, of course, down over here, I wanted to make sure that the bed kind of fit underneath the windows there. And of course, the windows do look back out onto the rear patio. But I wanted to continue the language from the living room and then give it a different color to kind of change the feeling of this room. And of course, I gave it the nice, wonderful blue. I love this blue. I can't get enough of it, but I find that I end up wanting to use it way too much. So it's just like the bronze. Even though it looks great, I try to avoid it just for my own purposes. There's nothing wrong with it. I could probably paint a whole house in this color blue. I did the outside in that cobalt blue clapboard, but I love this blue. How it has like that perfect level of mute vibrance. It has a really nice subtle tone. It's like if you took a regular, just standard cerulean blue and added like steel gray to it. I love this combination. I can't get enough of this color. I really can't. And of course over here, this nice big walk-in closet. And I didn't even put a door in here. I thought about it. And then I was like, you know what? No, let's just leave it open. Let's just make it an open closet. And of course over here we have the built-in ottoman with the shoes underneath. The shelves over to the sides that kind of hold like a few different things. I have a little couple hooks here. Nothing really big or major. It's just I like how this came out just entirely because it's just so well thought. This was actually not in the original plan. This was my idea. The original plan had a particular section, I think it was like right through here, that was the closet or something like that, and it kind of just left the rest of this just to rot, more or less. Or maybe it was actually the end of it. I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember, I should say. But this was my idea. I actually changed it from being this closed off closet and just this wasted space. I wanted to make absolute most of this space, and that's exactly what I did. I created an area that was just this walk-in wardrobe, more or less, and I'm gonna do this again. I really want to do this again. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it's probably going to be on one of the larger houses that I have still sitting there waiting for me to get to. But I will be doing this again. The large walk-in wardrobe is absolutely going to be a staple of my style going forward. And then of course we are here at the back door. This goes back out onto the patio. Lovely, lovely. So this is just a standard, just fire pit, full surround, got a extra chair over here. This is the area for the gardening I mentioned previously, and of course have a patio table. I went with a patio table instead of a picnic table because I'm not a big fan of picnic tables myself. I do prefer having bespoke chairs, and a large part of that is making everyone feel like they themselves are a part of the table rather than the table forcing the togetherness, you know? And of course, we do have the lovely little. Oh, I got that a little bit close to that railing, but that's okay. We will not worry about it. Um, yeah, so that's all there is to it. You can go and, like I said, I might update the screenshots for this particular mod. I may not. I may just leave it because it doesn't really mean too awful much. Um, that's all there is to the Country Cabin by Rash Decision. Thank you. Enjoy your Monday. Have a good one. Cheers.